All right, our next game, guys.
Yeah, I think you think they kill him, right? You think the Seahawks just absolutely destroy him?
I like 7.5 for the Niners.
I was just say I could see a backdoor cover here.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be a 20-point winner.
Yeah.
Texans, Patriots. This board, not really that crazy. Nico Collins might not play.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect
in this game. He's trending towards not playing. So the board, there's not a lot of high-priced players in this game, and that's because the Texans' defense is just a buzzsaw, Matthew.
It really is, and so I mean, I could see if you wanted to go with the argument for Drake Maye is that maybe he uses his legs a little bit more. He's averaging almost 40 rushing yards a game over the past 5 games. He had like over 60 last week as well, and so again, thinking about the pressure that Houston brings, could Drake Maye get on his wheels and try to avoid pressure here? But like this feels like over under 40.5. This feels like a game to try to avoid in fantasy line decision making, unless you're in a large field tournament and you're just trying to, go contrarian here. I will say that Christian Kirk at 4,100, 28% target share last week. 8 for 144 and a touchdown. Nico Collins not there. He'll avoid Christian Gonzalez being in the slot.
Right.
Christian Kirk becomes sort of interesting, I think, in this one.
Best game ever last week.
Yeah, he won them the game. People forget, because it ended up being such a blowout, but that was a close game going into the fourth quarter. And if they don't complete that 3rd and 15 to Christian Kirk, it could be a different outcome. I do think, as imposing as the Texans' defense is, and I think it's between them and the Seahawks who has the best defense in the league, I do think they are a little bit inflated now, because it felt like Aaron Rodgers could have had 30 drives in that game and he was never going to score a touchdown. It just felt completely untenable. Drake Maye is a different animal, and Drake Maye's ability to create outside of structure, to take shots down the field as well, I think it will look a bit different. Like, teams have been able to move the ball at times against the Texans this year. So Drake Maye, I think he has it in him to have a big game here, even if it is a very difficult matchup.
What do we think about Ramondre Stevenson? 3 straight games with 100 or more scrimmage yards, but now he faces the Texans defense.
Their linebackers are as fast as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's just...
I agree. I just think for fantasy lineup decisions, I think this is a game to avoid. Texans defense at 3,400. Interesting, although, again, because the mobility of Drake Maye, I don't know that they get home the way you think they might.
But they create takeaways.
They do.
That's why I'd pay the price for this one. And Drake Maye, for all his
he wasn't great
amazing plays, he'll take chances through the air, and he holds the ball.
Yeah.
If Nico Collins is out, by the way, also just one last person in here, Dalton Schultz is interesting. In the games in which he's seen at least 5 targets, and if there's no Nico Collins, you would expect Schultz to see at least 5 targets. He's averaging over 13 fantasy points per game. So, Schultz, again, nothing sexy about Dalton Schultz, but he will catch it and fall down. Here's some of the props.
Yeah. Not a surprise, pretty low numbers across the board on this one, Jay.
Yeah, Woody Marks at 56.5 is a little interesting to me, just given that the Patriots' rush defense in the second half of the year hasn't been fantastic, and particularly if Nico Collins isn't going to go, this could be a defensive battle where the Texans are looking to run the ball as is their want. Don't mind Kayshon Boutte, 31.5, long reception. Yeah, he just needs one.
Stephon Diggs, 47.5. Hashtag revenge game for Stephon Diggs.
He played 8 games. I think he just...
Yeah.
It's more the Buffalo revenge games.
But he knows those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. Interesting. I feel like Stephon Diggs always shows up in the big games for the Patriots.
Yeah,
feels like he's just
He's the guy against man coverage.
Right.
And the Texans play a ton of man coverage. That's what they do. This is a huge game for Drake Maye. This is going to be fun because he's going to finish either first or second in MVP. Now he gets to go up against maybe the best defense in football, and his ability to create outside of structure is going to determine the game.
Yeah.
Our
I realize
last game,
Connor wants a Texans-Seahawks Super Bowl.
I'd love that.
America
Texans Rams, Texans Seahawks, Texans Bears.
Texans Seahawks would be 10-7.
Yeah, let's go.
To be fair, it was like 27-19 when they played earlier this year as a shootout. Yeah. JSN destroyed Derek Stingley.
Right.
So that'd be an interesting.
Texans defense on their own could score 14 points.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's fair. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.